Welcome back to 13C. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the TLR-1 HL up front, and then after that we're going to talk a little bit about differences in lights, Tier 1 lights versus other lights, kind of our thought process and how we outfit what weapons with what lights, if that makes sense. So anyway, stick around to the end for the more commentary portion. Up front here we are going to talk specifically about the one that we have right here. This is the TLR-1 HL. Like I said, it's from Streamlight. This is in the flat dark earth brown color. This is the first one in this color scheme that we have in. We got this one in from Optics Planet. We'll leave our discount code and link below. 13C Gun Reviews will get you 5% off basically everything on the site. Thank you to them for extending that discount out. So, and we'll put links down below as well if you want to click through on those. As far as the light here, Streamlight, let's talk about them real quick. So I've used Streamlight products in one form or another for a good 20 years, 22 years maybe. At this point in my late teens, very early 20s, I was a firefighter EMT and I got my first introduction into Streamlights. We had those big box lights, for example, when I first came on board, and then someone from the company came out and we did a little house structure burn, and I was one of the people who were in there, got to evaluate some of their smoke cutter lights, for example. Really cool lights, and I actually have one still that still works 22 years later, which is kind of funny. Anyway, I am familiar with their lights over a number of years. They've proven themselves to me both before in a professional setting and then later on now as far as weapons mounted lights, for example. So that's kind of my history with Streamlight, if you will, there, knowing the company, knowing what their products can do. And it's also why, as a go-to pistol mounted light for a primary light, you know, these are right up there for us over other lights. So let's get right into the thing here. I know a lot of people, everybody wants to know what's up with this silver ring here. The best I can find on that, the silver ring, is that it's a trademark for them. It's a proprietary thing, it's their trademark, and that's why they put it on all their frickin' lights. Some people find it really crazy annoying because, you know, there's reflection, it's going to give your position away, whatever else. I would say this illuminator on here, whether it's illuminated or not, is going to offer that same amount of reflection that this ring is. If you don't like it, you can always take a Sharpie to it. To me, that's not that big of a deal. Chances are you're going to have it holstered up, and that's kind of what is going to spur the second part of this thing, is the holster that we're using here, this Blackhawk T-Series. This is their level 3 retention holster here. You're probably not going to be able to see it. It kind of looks like it may be out of frame, but anyway, there'll be a standalone video on this coming up in the future, as well as this Safe Life Defense belt, 2-layer duty belt system that we're using here also. So anyway, as to the light itself, the HL is the high lumen. It's 1,000 lumens versus the standard one, I believe, is about 300 lumens. The difference there is going to be that on this high lumen, you're going to get 1.5 hours of runtime on your two CR123 batteries, as opposed to, I think you get 2.5, almost 3 hours of runtime on the standard one. The other trade-off there, that's really it. The device, and I'm pointing at the front of this, not the front of the barrel. If you're wondering on the barrel on there, that's a Lone Wolf barrel, a threaded barrel on there. I was doing some suppressed shooting for some of the night shooting that you're going to see. We'll roll in after this. It's a nice thing for the neighbors to throw a can on the end there, just to keep it kind of quieted down. Not that we have neighbors that are close, you know, several hundred yards away, but at the same time, it helps to just be a friendly neighbor, right? So anyway, the illuminator is a little different on this, but the bezel still maintains that same size, so it will use the same holsters that a regular TLR-1 will. The TLR-2, if you're wondering the difference there, the 1 versus the 2, this is the 1. The 2 would add a laser on the bottom, and you'll get a little bit of a reduced runtime when you're running the laser with it. Nothing significant, though. The laser uses a very minimal amount of energy. TLR-1 HL and the 1 are both IPX7 waterproof rated, and both of them have a lifetime limited warranty. One of the things that I'm curious about, and I want to talk to them, and I'll see if I can put the information down below or get somebody to tell me, is the limited lifetime warranty. There's part of their disclaimer there talks about electronics being covered separately. So I'm just curious as to what limited lifetime warranty covers on this versus their 2-year electronics warranty. I'll try and drop that information down below or annotate it here as the case may be. So as to the beam itself, I said it was 1,000 lumens, and it is rated to throw out to 283 meters. It's got a good throw on it, and it is a wide dispersion. With the bezel on here, it is a wider dispersion than some of the other lights. You're going to work really well for anything you would expect handgun related wise, especially, generally speaking, especially at night. Probably not going to be engaging anything past 50 yards. This is going to do a fantastic job, and it's going to throw out plenty of light beyond that if you needed to see beyond that. We'll try and throw some pictures in here, see how well they work. I know at night it gets difficult to try and convey just how far these types of lights throw at distance, but we will do our best. As far as taking this thing on and off, it's really easy. They call it a thumb screw on the side here. I'm not sure why. It's not like once you get that thing tightened down, you're able to get it off, by using your finger and thumb. But a flathead screwdriver, or just use a coin. I prefer to use a quarter. It makes it really easy to take this on and off. It comes with, I think, 6 different plate options underneath here, meaning that this one has the plate on here for the Glock rail. A little insert in there, you can change it out for pick rail, SIG, I think Beretta, and Smith & Wesson as well. There's 6 total that you can put on here to mount on basically any different rail pretty much that they make. This light comes equipped for right out of the box. These are good lights. I mean, I've hesitated to do a video just on this because what do you talk about, right? I mean, these are kind of the standby. I've talked about them in other videos. It's a good light. It's a solid light. It's got your on and then temporary, just push and release for burst, and then if you double click it, it will go on to strobe. Great lights, they do very well, and 2 CR123 batteries and you are done. Easy to take on and off the rail, and as I said, they're IPX7, so they've got a good waterproof rating as well. Let's get into the commentary portion of this here really quick. I'm going to try and keep it simple here. The point is, if you're looking for a primary go-to source and you can afford it, go for something that's a tier 1 type of light like this. If it's nowhere near in your price range and you have to make compromises, sometimes you have to do that, and if you understand that going into it, that's okay. At the same time, if you can afford one of these, but you also have a couple other handguns that are sitting around, and not that these are that higher priced than a lot of the competitors that would put you at least in a range where you'd be somewhat comparable to this, you can't necessarily afford to get multiples of this to put on, that handgun or 2 that you have in a backup safe or quick access safe somewhere, as a last ditch resort on a different level, whatever the case may be. If you can't afford to just buy a light to have it sit and just sit there, look at other options, sure. But for a primary light, just like I would say for a primary defensive red dot, if you can swing it, get an aimpoint T2. Right? But you're not going to put an aimpoint T2 on all your guns, right? No, I'm not. I certainly can't afford that. The same thing goes for lights. Just realize what you're doing, what you're getting into. Make an educated decision. Don't sell yourself short if you don't have to. And if you are making compromises, realize you're making those compromises, and don't make any excuses that you don't have to for that. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that explains it. We've covered that in other videos where we've talked about why I'll have different lights for different things, and there'll be different tiers, just like different optics, different scopes, whatever the case may be. Hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, feel free, leave them down below. Facebook.com/gun reviews, great place to find us, leave questions, and get answered sometimes a lot more quickly. Find the corresponding post to this video and post up your questions. That way everybody can see them in that thread. Or again, feel free to leave them down below. Sometimes it does take us a while for those notifications to come through, if they even ever do here on YouTube. Full 30 gun streamer, please check us out over there. And everybody, thank you so much for your support. Check us out on Patreon if you'd like. We'll leave those links and discount code 13C Gun Reviews down below, as well as you can go to 13cgunreviews.com and find our main page where you can find all different kinds of links, discounts. We also have some affiliate links down there, for example, to our Amazon link. So if you click our Amazon link, for example, we'll get a slight kickback from Amazon on that, which we really appreciate. It's the same thing for any of the other affiliate links that you see, be it here or on someone else's channel. If you're going to buy something anyway, if you're helping to support the channel and people that you like, it doesn't cost you any extra money, and it's a great way to help kick us something, because as we've mentioned before, YouTube has completely removed us from the partnership program here because guns are scary. So we don't make a penny off of the YouTube videos at all at this point. If you see an ad, it's because YouTube's running it, but we have absolutely no control over that, and we get nothing from any YouTube ad that comes up here, if they even do come up, which technically they're not supposed to come up because our channel is not suitable for advertisers, allegedly. That's what they tell us. Thanks again, everybody. Stay safe. We'll talk soon.